the game they play in heaven.
Hello and welcome to Subbies TV. We're back. I'm your host Ninja. I know we've been away for a while, but that hasn't been my fault, I promise you. But we're excited to be back on, and we've got a lot of action been happening over the last couple of weeks. We're heading into the finals. We've already had one grand final already, and it's exciting time. So we'll get straight into the show. I'll introduce our panel for today. We've got the mouth back. It's Vinny Byrne. Oh. He's back on. We've got Richie Rich, and my special guest today is Tony from Sydney Harlequins, and maybe played for the Wallabies once or twice.
just a couple.
Couple of games. So give us a quick rundown. It can be real brief if you want.
41 tests for Australia between 89 and 95. Scored the World Cup final trial, and that's it.
Yep.
12 games against the All Blacks, won 6, lost 6. That's it.
Yeah.
And Ewan McKenzie, my best mate, is the coach of the Wallabies, you beauty, and looking forward to it.
No, I think they're hopefully times are changing and we will get some wins against the All Blacks.
Very confident Ewan's going to do it.
So 41 for the Wallabies, yeah. That 50 tests, it's eluding me as well.
Yeah, I know.
And the Harlequins are going well this year?
Mate, our regular season's finished. We were the semis. We came second on the table to Redfield, and they won minor premiers, and we play Irish this week for the right to play them in the major semi. So it's going to be enough. It's going to be a tall order beating them, but we're quietly confident we've got the game plan and the personnel to do it.
Brilliant, brilliant. Awesome. Well, guys, it's time for the weekly wrap, but Emily Barker's not with us, so I've replaced her with images and music. Yeah, brilliant. Not quite as good as Emily being there, but the scores are there so you can look at them. Any that stuck out for you guys? I mean, there's been, obviously we've had 3 weeks off. There's been some massive upsets. St Ives, Vinny, got against you guys?
Yeah, they did. They got us a couple of weeks back. I think they've got a few new players there. Also think our attitude was pretty ordinary heading into that game, but in saying that, take nothing away from St Ives, they played really well. And they and they've been showing that the last few weeks. Like they've only just lost to Petersham
on the weekend by
a point. So I think even though there's only 2 rounds left, they'll take a few teams by surprise.
Yeah,
it could upset the table a little bit.
Well, I think the point needs to be made now. Now we've caught up, all the wet weather's out of the way, so all the tables are up to date. Everyone's played what they should have played, which is good, and you can get a decent idea of where you stand or where you sit. The standout game for me, I think, recently was last Saturday, colleagues Pats. What I've been told, with 30 minutes to go, Pats were down 34-5 and won 35-34. So 30 unanswered points in the last half hour. So, and I know a few players are missing. So it was a big effort. It was at colleagues too. So
that was a big one for colleagues because if they got that win, they push up into potentially the top 2. So that's very much changed their season, and they're now fighting to even make the 4, depending on results. But Tony, any that stuck out?
Being an old King's Old Boys, I had a season there with Subbies, and they drew with Linfield 27-all, which was a massive call for them. That was probably, at the moment, they haven't had a great year, old King's Old Boys, but drawing with Linfield, and Linfield are knocking on the door to the semi-final spot, and they've really probably
That's
shut
done, I
them
think.
out. That's done. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Linfield can't make it now. They needed a bonus point win, I think, and results to go their way.
And I think Linfield were leading quite handsomely, and King's Old Boys came back very strongly. So it's always good to finish off a season, but a bit of old sentimental thing for them.
Yeah, good on them too, because it'd be very easy just to, that season's gone.
Absolutely,
It's a wet weather week. And
Absolutely.
Good on sticking in there. And of course, Richie, you went out to the Radford Cup.
Yeah.
It was the first grand final of the weekend. Hills v Epping. Epping were looking for a undefeated season, and they got it.
Yeah. This is the Radford Cup Colts grand final. There's only 5 teams in that comp, so it was obviously a short season. It was a sensational game of footy. It went to extra time. It was 13 all at half time. It was 25 all at full time. So it went to extra time, and it was very, very close. Two charge down tries basically got it for Epping in the end.
Yep.
44-32 undefeated. So first premiers for the year. Well done.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
No, well done to those guys, and that's a big effort. It doesn't matter what grade you play, to be honest. Go through a season undefeated's awesome, and a lot of talent coming through for both sides.
No, it was a great game to watch.
Oh, the guys of the future. It's exciting. All right, well, we'll have a look at the games of the week now. I've highlighted 2 in Division 1 that are important. We've got 3 weeks left for Division 1 teams, and we've got Drummoyne versus Colleagues. What are our thoughts on that, Vinny?
Well, to be honest, I don't really follow much of First Division.
You know a lot of the guys, though.
Yeah, no, I'm just taking a piss. Yeah, no, I'd have to say Drummoyne.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
They need it.
They need it.
Both
Well, they both
sides
need it, don't they? But
I think
Drummoyne
will come across
Drummoyne,
the fields.
Chad, do you know much about...
I sure do.
Yeah.
Look, I follow all the subbies divisions, and I feel that Drummoyne and Colleagues have had a great rivalry over the last couple of years. I do remember, I think it was a couple of years ago, correct me if I'm wrong, Timmy, that Colleagues won 6 grand finals, and on the day at TG Milner, they might have beaten Drummoyne in 3 or 4 of those grand finals.
First and second grade, I think.
Yeah.
2011.
So, and there was, so there's quite a rivalry there, but I'm actually tipping Drummoyne.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really feel that they've got a lot to prove, and they've got a couple of blokes coming back from injury, which I keep in contact with a particular bloke down there, and I think they'll surprise a few in the semi-finals campaign, and they'll be in the grand final, but I'm pretty sure they'll have a good win over Colleagues.
Richie, you saw Drummoyne Balmain the other week, and Jake Haverbon
that was
carving up.
That was a cracking game. So the way it worked, catching up with all these games, they actually played each other twice in the one week. They played a Tuesday night and then the Saturday. So it was one apiece. Balmain won midweek, and Drummoyne just won on the Saturday at Blackmore. It was a great game. Yeah, Jakey was on fire.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see. It'd be the first time in a while that Drummoyne has to make the finals if they had to lose this week, I think, to be honest. They might have a bit of trouble making that top 4 with teams like Balmain and Knox, etc. Speaking of Knox versus Mossman. Now, the Whales are having a sensational season. I know I'm aligned with the mighty Whales, but this is a huge game, probably more for Knox than it is for Mossman. But if the Whales want to take a 1-2 spot, it's a must-win for them.
It's going to be a bit of emotion there for Knox.
Yeah.
I suppose you're going to speak about that later, but it's going to be a big day for Knox. So watch out, Mossman. I'm
just looking at the table here. I mean, it's quite. They're all bunched up. I mean, it's from Mossman to Knox is from 54 to 47. You've got 5 teams within 6 points of vicinity. So that just tells you the competitiveness in that top part of the table.
And to be honest, Beecroft were in amongst it only up until a couple of weeks ago. And in Campbelltown, you have a look at their bonus points. I mean, they've got 12 bonus points, but I think there's about 5 or 6 of them are losses by 7 or less. Yep. So that's huge. You've got to get those wins.
And you know what that tells me for next year? They're going to be competitive. They've done the hard yards, and they're certainly going to learn, because if they've got that foundation of those bonus points, then they'll learn a lot. So
absolutely. Moving on to Div 2, this is something you should know something about, Vinny, is Oatley versus Petersham. Big game for Oatley. Yep. What are your thoughts?
Similar to what Rich asked, we played Oatley twice in the 1 week. I think it was last week or the week before. And, mate, they're a strong team. Their forwards are good. They've got Batsy in there at 6 or 8. So, mate, they're quite a handy team. But in saying that, I think Peterson showed they had the form all year. I think they'll knock them off.
No upset, mate?
No upset at all.
Yep.
You don't think, like, both for Brothers and Petersham, you guys are locked in the top 2 spots. Is there any reason why you might just take the foot off the accelerator and ease into the finals?
Well, to be honest, we haven't had a full team in 7 weeks.
Yeah.
And we've still got 3 or 4 players to come back. And because they haven't been here, Tom Byrne is going to put them through second grade, which is fair enough. So we won't even have another team, full team this week, maybe against Forest. So we might not even have a full team till the first game of the semis. In terms of resting players, probably not. Yeah, it's not easy to get the cohesion back when you haven't had a full team in 6 or 7 weeks.
Do you think Peterson would do the same thing at all?
My old mate wouldn't have a clue. I was speaking to Pepsi the other day. No, mate, they're not resting anyone. Yeah,
That would be a question though from Ninja, wouldn't it?
well, that is a surprise.
Good question.
Caught me off guard.
All right, we'll go Div 3, and we've got this is the Hawkesbury Valley versus University of Western Sydney Hawkesbury. So it's the local derby and another big game. What are we thinking on this one? I mean, both sides have showed pretty good form throughout the year. Hawkesbury Valley chasing that 4th spot.
You'd be a brave man to bet on that one. That's that massive local derby up there. Twice a year, it's always huge. I don't know. Who's at home?
I think it is University of Western Sydney Hawkesbury. They win.
Yeah, I'm with you, Terry. I think they're going to be the shows of the finals. I think they're the dark horse to come out and give it a crack. And they've got a couple of players coming back from injury who've been out for a while. But
we played last year. The University of Western Sydney
strong guys.
That Blue Mountains last year, there was us, then Blue Mountains, and University of Western Sydney. And towards the end of the year, they just ramped it up. Right.
Fair enough. We'll quickly get through the rest of these. We've got Div 5, the finals this weekend. Of course, we've got Harlequins versus the Irish. I'm skipping you. What do you think, Richie?
Yeah, look, it's going to be a cracker of a game. I haven't seen Harlequins play this year, but the guy next to me says they're sensational.
Yeah.
I have seen Irish. They've been good too. First year in, they're a bit of an unknown quantity, I suppose. In finals time, I'm going to pick only because he's going to pick Harlequins. I'm going to pick Irish.
Fair enough. I think the experience.
Timmy and I have known each other for a long time in the Gordon days, many years. So I'll have to accept that from the big kahuna of Subbies Rugby.
And
can't too much.
We were talking about this one before the show, but Marylands versus the Vales. We just think the Marylands will be too strong.
Oh, look, I'm confident. I mean, look, put the wrench on Marylands. I'm telling you now. Yeah. They'll come out and they've been one of the teams that I've been quite afraid of for the all year because I know what they can do based on what I've seen when I played with and coached with brothers in 2011, and I think they're going to be pretty. They're going to be tough to beat. But in saying that, so Redfield.
There you go. All right, fair enough. And Div 6, we have Manly Sabres versus Dundas Valley. Now this is a couple of weeks ago. I've said Div 6 is wrapped up. The top 4, they're pretty much just fighting out for minor premiership. Sorry, Manly Sabres, because you've come out of nowhere. And if they get a win this weekend, it could come down to that last round against Chatswood.
Yeah.
So this is a huge game for them. And to be honest, even if they lose, if Chatswood get an upset loss this weekend, it could still come down to the last round, I love seeing that. I love seeing that in the end of the season when it comes, you basically got semi-final to make the semi-final. It's awesome. But who do we think? Do you know much about the Sabres or?
No, not really. I know a few guys from Chatswood.
Yeah.
But I think Sabres have got that much to play for.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Traditionally, Sabres really play well in the semis.
Yeah.
And we played them in our first year and we lost to them in the preliminary final where we should have probably won, but they went on and won the competition. Yeah. So they always save their best till last, Manly Sabres. They seem to peak at the right time of the year. I'm going to pick Manly Sabres.
And they've been in the Meldrum Cup forever.
Yeah.
And
they do get a couple of players that, they not that they rest them or they it's just one of those things where they tend to hit form at the right time and things fall into place for them.
Yeah, fair enough. Yep. I think Sabres, they might make an upset. Dundas are playing, they're like in the glory days of when they won the Kent World Cup and stuff. They're killing it this year. But,
close.
Okay, close. But Manly Sabres, I reckon it's going to be an upset this weekend. We're going to take a quick break and then we'll be right back after this.
The Bunker Studios in the heart of Sydney's CBD is a unique production space that specialises in producing online video content. Your audiences are 5 times more engaged and they are 85% more likely to buy products and services when you have video on your site. So whether you need small video campaigns or want to produce a live event that can interact with all your database, contact the Bunker Studios or visit our website.
Hello and welcome back to Subbies TV. Thank you for joining us. We've got an awesome panel today. Didn't have to pay you guys too much to come on the show, so cheers for that. Keeping my wallet safe. Before we get into our panel discussion of the week, I'm just intrigued to hear our thoughts on who we think are the premier favourites in each division. So we'll rip through and we'll start with you, Vinny. Who do you think in Div 1?
I'm going to go for Mossman.
You think Mossman will take it out? Good form, yeah.
Pats.
Pats, you're going with Pats.
I'm going to go Colleagues.
Colleagues?
Even they're going to lose to Des Moines this week.
Fair enough.
Yep.
I think Mossman are playing great footy this year. The only team they haven't beaten so far has been Knox.
You wouldn't be game to pick anybody else, would you?
No, I wasn't going to pick anyone. Div 2, you'd think probably Brothers, I imagine.
Oh,
I think Brothers.
100% Brothers, yeah.
Brothers.
Yep.
Well, then I'll go Petersham.
You go Petersham.
Oh, yeah.
Div 3,
right.
who do we think? Div
Timothy.
3? I love
I'm going to go Uni Western Sydney.
Yeah. I'm with you, Vin.
Mountains.
Yeah. Mountains, I think Mountains as well. That is a dark horse, and that'd be great to see. Maybe Mountains, University of West Sydney final.
Yeah, you've got a couple of players coming back.
Not to ride off Hornsby in that, but yeah.
Western Sydney. Yeah.
Div 5,
Harlequins.
I'd love to see Irish win just in their first year. No offence.
Oh, would you now?
But
I don't think so.
Oh God, we've hit a new low, a very new low. So
Is that red hair that's coming out in the Irish thing, Nietzsche? I think it is.
Yeah. No, who do we think?
I'm going Harlequins.
Harlequins?
No, Redfield.
Redfield?
Yeah, of course, Harlequins.
Harlequins?
Absolutely. Yep.
You're backing your own side? That's odd.
Absolutely.
That's odd.
It is unusual, isn't it?
You know what? I don't know. I can't pick it, but I'll say Irish. There. Cool. And then Div 6. I've heard a lot of people. It's been on the Facebook page, the Subbies Facebook page. A lot of people are backing Clavelli. Clavelli, backing them in. They've had some huge wins.
Looking at the stats there, I'd go
Clavelli.
Yep.
Looking at
That's
the
my
stats.
pick, Clavelli.
I think the top two, that might be grand final.
Denied a grand final spot last year with a draw in the final, and the higher placed team went through and they missed. So Cleverly missed out. I think they've got something to prove, and they're sort of the quiet achievers of that comp.
Yeah, fair
I think
enough.
they'll win it.
All right.
I think I agree with the boys, but I think they'll play Sabres in the grand final.
Sabres. There you go. Awesome. I just wanted to find out
That is a
what our
dark
thoughts were. Excellent. All right, moving on to the panel question now. It's a subject that has gotten to people throughout the year, and Timmy, you've probably heard it from 1,000 people. But the placement of Colts this year, the times that they kick off, and how it affects 4th grade or 5th grade in Div 1. I mean, is it better playing? Why? What was the decision behind putting them
So
in the middle?
whenever anyone brings this up, they never talk about is it better for Colts.
Yep.
They only say it's ruining 4s and 5s.
Yep.
And the decision was directed at promoting Colts.
Yeah.
And it's a recognition of the fact that they're probably the 3rd best side in most clubs. Certainly better to watch. No, that's not every club. I understand that. They're worth club championship points. They're worth equal to.
And they're going up next
3rd
year.
grade, and they're going up next year, so they will sit between 2nds and 3rds. We understand any change is difficult, but we think that it's generally working pretty well. We're quite happy with the way it's.
So the goal behind it is obviously to develop the younger talent.
We want to much more closely integrate Colts into the club. So we want them not backing up into 4s after they've played at 10:45. We want them backing up into 2s.
Fair enough.
Now we understand once again, not every Colts player can do that, particularly in the front row maybe. But we think. Remember too, Colts in Subbies is under 21.
Yeah.
It's not under 20s, it's not under 19s, under 21. So they're not babies, and we don't want to treat them like that.
That's questionable with some of them. But yeah, I think Vinny, you've got some thoughts on that.
I've just the clubs I've spoken to, and it is good. Let's promote Colts, but at the same time, a prerequisite of playing the top divisions is you've got to have a 4th grade and you've got to have a 5th grade.
Got to have a Colts.
And you've got to have a Colts, but that's fine. But when the Colts were playing at 10:30, were they still one team? There wasn't 3 grades of Colts. So, but by putting Colts up,
you have
cost a lot of teams a 4th grade team and a 5th grade team. You've got to have a Colts. But
you have
by
to have
putting
a Colts in
Colts
first
at
and second
midday,
division.
but by putting Colts at midday, have you increased Colts teams in other clubs? So clubs that didn't have a Colts team, all of a sudden they've gone, well, hang on, we're playing at midday. I'm going to come and form a club here.
No, it wasn't about forming clubs or extra teams. There has to be a minimum 20 Colts teams in Subbies.
Yeah.
The Radford Cup, if we can get it up each year, we play it. But every club in 1st and 2nd division must have a Colts, just like they must have a 4s.
Yeah.
And we're saying that Colts as a grade is more important than 4th grade.
I guess
That's the crux of the decision.
And that's fine, but these guys that are playing 4th grade have also been playing for these clubs for 10, 15 years. And now they can't do it because they've got kids themselves. They've got to take the sport and do all sorts of things.
Yep.
So now we're losing these blokes that have been the backbone of these clubs.
There's one club that hasn't fielded a 4th grade in 1st and 2nd division this year. It's Newport.
That's in fielding. I'm talking about
They
you've got blokes that are playing.
have said that the change in times wasn't the biggest or sole factor in them not fielding a 4th grade. Now, every club somewhere along the line gets short of players. I don't think you can pin it on one particular issue.
Not at all.
There might be, and we understand.
We've got to keep moving on.
We understand there's going to be a transition. It's the first year it's happened. Let it bed itself in.
A couple of years and see, and if in a couple of years we find that it's...
I'll just say one thing. I'd love for Harlequins to have a Colts team.
Yeah.
We've got 3 grade teams, 2 first, second, and Harlequins, but I think a Colts team would be great. But based on what Vinny's saying about the old style players who've been there, the stalwarts have got families, but geez, I'll tell you what, you need that up and coming guys that come through.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's a hard one, and we've seen in Div 1 this year. I think Beecroft had trouble fielding a 4th grade. They got rid of their 5th grade, and that may be because guys can't play in the morning because they're kids. But it's first year, so I don't know. So
I think you'll find with Beecroft, they've been hit by injuries.
Yeah. Okay.
It's got nothing to do with the kick-off times.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Interesting.
Ooh, what a topic. Jeez. So it's going to happen next year then, at this stage?
Definitely, and Colts points are going up. So
there you go.
That'll give you an indication of where it's heading.
All right. Well, we'll move on. We'll leave that lingering, and everyone can jump on the Facebook page if they've got a comment or an opinion. Keep it PG. And it's a hard one. It is a hard one, and I know it's divided, completely divided, and Colts want to be able to enjoy their Friday nights and then play a bit later in the day, but also the guys want to be able to watch their kids play footy. But anyway, we'll keep moving on. We've got Media Madness now. This is the awesome segment that's got videos, it's got pics. We love this. So we've got a couple of pics. You guys have got them there. The first one, excellent. First one's me.
Mate, as another halfback, you've got to pick your battle.
Look how worried those colleagues guys are. They're terrified.
Is that a 2 on that bloke's back?
Yeah, that's it.
Mate, what are you doing? You don't pick a front rower. I did it once and got the crap punched out of me.
Ninja, do you wear contacts usually? Or?
Yes, I do.
You didn't have a bit that
Hindsight,
day.
boys. Hindsight, the next photo.
And look at the bloke behind you. He's 6'4".
The next
I'm not going anywhere near him.
The next guy we've got up, he's just a pretty bad headshot, and that's great. Thanks for sending it in. That's full on. That's full on. All right, we've got another one. This from Radford Cup actually. So here's the kickoff. Hill's kicking off. It was a great day out there, and well done to both sides. And Epping, there they are, holding up the trophy. Undefeated season.
Very nice.
That's
Happy
not
days.
easy. Next photo we've got here. It was me with everyone. This is at Campbelltown when we went out there, and that's a Campbelltown local, and everyone was calling her my mum. So that's me and my mum.
It's a spitting image, right?
Yeah, spitting.
It doesn't look good on a resume, does it?
No. Not great. Not great. All right, guys, we've got some awesome videos sent in, so thank you for sending these in. We've got a try here. This is the Blue Mountains versus Hawkesbury Valley. So Blue Mountains here just sort of leading towards the try line, and then they throw this intercept bam, and the guy is away, runs the length. Now that put them ahead 16-12, and then after the bell we've got this one here with Blue Mountains spinning it out wide and in the corner, gives it to the crowd, and Blue Mountains won that after the bell, so that's awesome. Thank you for sending in that footage. We love getting a bit of footage. And we've got here Sydney Harlequins versus Mac Uni. Big unit just dives over.
Oh well, look, they
Crunch.
They turned up on the day, and we sort of, we took them lightly. But in saying that, we were coasting along very nicely there, Ninja. We won games quite handsomely, 70, 60, 50 points, and we were sort of turning up. And I think the day
Mac Uni gave it to you.
Yeah, they did. They in our faces, and I think teams like that, it was probably a thing that we needed at the time. And we certainly made a point of it at training the next week, and we came out and beat the next week Rouse Hill 40-0, and they called the game off with 15 minutes to go.
Oh, Rouse Hill. What's going on?
Yeah, well, I won't say any more, but what I'm saying is sometimes you need a wake-up call, and we got it.
Sure. Oh, well, that's great, and thank you for sending in that. This is what we want. We want this footage. We want these tries and everything. Here's another try here from Roseville versus the Convicts, and Roseville, they just make it look so easy. They just spin out wide and put it over, and then old mate puts the conversion over as well. So that's great. And look at this hit. This is Dukes versus Terry Hills. And they're screaming out for a forward runner. They give it to the big man, and he just gets driven back about 5 metres and smashed. But good on him for trucking it up. So that's great. And our last video, and this is ridiculous. This last video has been sent in, and a gun's been put to my head. A couple of weeks ago, we were up at the clubhouse, and they did something they like to call ninja bowling. And so here it is. This is me getting picked up by a bunch of first graders and just, there you go, flung down the table there. That's ninja bowling.
There should be more of it, I reckon.
Yeah. I think this all came because we put a video up weeks earlier of about the second grade coaches breaking a table and going down a table. So I thought they'd get payback on me. So anyway, thanks for all the media. Ninja bowling. Don't make it a habit, everyone. Can we just...
Is that any redhead in the street or just you?
You know what? Screw it if I'm going down. Yes, any redhead is allowed to be bowled. And it's called ninja bowling.
Just be careful where you put your finger.
Yeah.
You got it in. Well done. You've been waiting to use that joke since before the thing. Well done.
All right, we'll move on now.
I was going to take it too.
So there are all the videos and pics. Thank you so much. And we've got some aspirational side coming up as well. We've got 2 guys from Campbelltown. I'll try to get through these real quick. We're running out of time. We've got Vincent Barry. Now, Vincent is a great clubman. He helps set up and pack up everything, sells the raffle tickets, he helps with anything he can. Comes to all the social functions and all the bus trips, and he prefers the jokes on him on his own expense because that way he feels like no one else is getting picked on, which is good.
Oh,
and it took him, he's played
Team
5
Saint.
years.
Throw the dartboard at me.
5 years it took him to realise he's not a winger and he's actually a prop. So that's a great nomination. So
we can dream as props.
You can dream. So you're in the aspirational side. We've got another guy, Doug from Campbelltown. He listen to this description. His stature resembles a human thumb.
Big rap.
Yeah,
Tom?
he gets the crowd behind the
Richard?
boys.
Is it Tom Thumb?
Gets the crowd behind him, sings all the songs, gets involved, and he's always keen to have a beer and a rum, and he'll buy you a drink even if he doesn't know you.
He's
so,
in.
He's done.
So that's the type of things we love. So I'm having so much trouble today with you. Like, no. Club announcements time. But remember, guys, if you've got videos, pics, aspirational sides, boat races, we haven't got any boat races the last couple of weeks. I know we haven't been on, but we haven't got any sent in anyway. But you can send them into rugbystuff@subbiestv.com.au. We love seeing them, and the more we get, the more we can show you, obviously. So we'll keep motoring along. We've got club announcements now. I've got a shout out to Daniel Young. Now, he's a young, 19-year-old English lad playing for St Ives, and his old man sent this across. I believe he's back home and he watches Subbies TV every week it's on. So thanks, mate. You're making up the numbers. And he's just been impressed with St Ives' turnaround. So he wanted to give a shout out to all the boys and to his son in particular. So there you go. Good on you, Daniel, and thanks to Dad. We've got Brothers for Brothers this weekend at Knox. This is for the Chris O'Brien Lifehouse. Now, Timmy, you know a bit about this, and unfortunately they've had a bit of...
Yeah, so I mentioned before it'd be an emotional day, I think, out there. So former Knox president Bryn Robinson's brother, a younger brother, died of cancer just recently. So that day on Saturday is going to be a tribute to him and raise money for Chris O'Brien Lifehouse. I think they raised 100 grand or so last year.
They got a massive amount.
So they're looking
such
to beat
a good
that
cause. And it's going to be very emotional, but I think it's going to be a celebration
Absolutely.
of his life, and that's the idea. So get down to the ground.
So
it's at Knox School.
Knox Grammar School on their main oval.
Yep, and they'll be playing in the middle of the day. They'll have a Brothers for Brothers game, and I believe they're against another Harlequin side. Petersham.
Yep.
So that's going to be a great day. So get down there, support the cause, and you know, if it's your club. If you've been involved with Knox as well, you know, get down there and just support everyone and the family. And our condolences, of course, from Subbies TV go out to everyone and the family there. Moving on, we've got Dundas Valley on the 24th of August have their Back to Dundas Day, and they're playing Byrne, and this is a potential minor premiership day for them. They might have the minor premiership if they win these next 2 weeks. They've got great setup with plenty of activities for the kids, jumping castles, etc., and I'm sure there'll be plenty of beers, that will be flowing. So get down there for Dundas Valley Back to Dundas Day. Balmain Rugby have their Ladies' Day on the 24th of August. That starts from 12 p.m. They have gift bags for the ladies, free manicures. There you go, Vinny. Massages, awesome raffle prizes, festivals and entertainment. After party will be at Balmain Hotel, so that should be good. An evening with Mossman Rugby is on the 24th of August as well, so you can jump on the Mossman Rugby website to buy your tickets and get all the information. That starts from 4 p.m. and that's going to be a great day against Hunters Hill, and the first grade boys will be able to enjoy a beer as we'll have a Harlequins game on during the night, and they've managed to source a giant big screen to watch the Bledisloe Cup as well. So that's an evening with Mossman Rugby, so jump on the Mossman Rugby website. Almost getting through. We've got a couple more. Hawaiian Airlines have their Harlequins Rugby Championship over in, you guessed it, Hawaii, 8th of October to the 13th. Head to the vslrugby.com for all the information and package deals. So if you're looking for an end-of-season tour, get on board. I'm going to be heading over with a touring club, and it's going to be a great tournament. They've got 7s, they've got 15s, they've got 10s. It's going to be huge, and they've got teams from all around the world. So jump on that website for all information and to book your side in. And then, of course, on Fridays we have Holdings Bits. Matt Holdings throws out his bits on Fridays with his jokes, and he had quite an emotional piece the other week as well, like about brain trauma.
Oh, yeah, about concussion which is a big topic in contact sport.
Hits all levels. Matt does. He does very well each week to put it out, and the jokes are getting worse and worse. So make sure you tune in.
Tell us what you really think.
Every Friday, go on the Subbies webpage and you can check out Holding Spit. So that's it. That's the club announcements. We managed to get through them. Whew, jeez.
Tip for the Bledisloe?
1,000. Well, you have a couple of weeks off. That's what you get. Tip for the Bledisloe, did you say?
Australia by 10.
Yeah, tip for the Bledisloe. Okay, why not? Tip for the Bledisloe?
Well, I'm not going to argue with him. Australia by 10.
Thank you, Tim.
8 points.
Can I say, I'd be interested to see how the new scrum laws go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good or bad thing?
I think it's a good thing. It gives us, I think, since both teams are in anticipation of having done it before, I think it's going to be, on level terms. And I think with Ewan, the way he's going at the moment, I think he's got a couple of things up his sleeve which could be really beneficial towards the Australian team.
Fair
so
enough.
I'm tipping the boys to do much better on the scoreboard and in the scrum.
I'm still waiting for my call from Ewan. Haven't got a call from him.
Mate, let's not hold our breath for that one.
Okay. Vinny, you got a tip for it?
Yeah, Australia by 6.
Yeah, good work.
Yep, thank you.
Awesome. 6, 8. I reckon they're going to win by 8. Dark horse, quickly get through this. Waverley versus Blacktown, so it's Div 3. The Hawkesbury Valley versus University of Western Sydney Hawkesbury. We've got Epping and the Mountain Boys, St George Hills, Hornsby and Briars. We'll start with you, Vinny. Who's your dark horse?
I'll go Blacktown.
Blacktown?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, this is a good one. You just took my dark horse.
Did you just take my dark horse?
You
Sorry,
did too.
All right. No, have you got Richie Rich?
Well, look, I picked Hawkesbury Ag earlier, but I'm going to go Hawkesbury Valley now, dark horse.
Hawkesbury Valley is dark horse. Fair enough.
Yeah, I have to go with Vinny, mate.
Yep, you're going Blacktown.
Blacktown, yep.
I'm going to go Epping over the Blue Mountains.
Wow.
That is the darkest of dark horses.
And we'll just leave it there. That's the dark horse.
Mate, that's Kingston Town in the 82 Melbourne Cup. He was running dead last.
So come on, Epping. You just won. Hey, you just won the first grand final of the year. Just all I'm asking is your first grade steps up and beats top spot. That's all I'm asking. All right, guys. Well, that's it for the week. So, Vinny, thank you for coming on the show, mate.
No dramas, mate.
Yeah, will I get you back on? Probably not. Probably not.
Mate, it'd be an absolute pleasure to come back on here.
Richie Rich.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate. Always love having you, and you handled that very well. The Colts thing, that's good. And Tone, excellent.
Pleasure,
and
mate.
best of luck with the finals this week.
No, mate, it's going to be great. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for having me on.
No, pleasure. Pleasure's all mine, trust me.
Anytime, mate.
All right, guys. Well, everyone, I hope you have a great weekend in rugby, and it's good that we're getting close to the finals. We're excited. Hopefully we will be back next week. But until next time, enjoy your rugby.
It was the game they play in heaven.